Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming and staying for this last segment, please. Yeah, it doesn't really matter who sits where. All right. So we've already heard a bunch from Ramesh, Twoon, and Wesley. So maybe to quickly introduce our two fresh faces on the panel. This is Irzan. He's from Kata.ai, founder from Indonesia, who's running an artificial intelligence platform for chatbots. And Benjamin over there, he's from Singapore, started his company in Singapore called Fundnel. Am I pronouncing that right? Funnel. Oh, it's a silent D. Funnel. And it's an equity crowdfunding platform. And the reason, we brought the founder's perspective onto this panel is just to hear. We've been hearing in the presentation, Singapore has so many advantages, government support, ease of access to capital, favorable regulations. But starting from Benjamin, you started your business there. What's it really like? Is it really all that easy? It sounds from Indonesia looking towards Singapore, it sounds like starting up, everything's already pretty much made for you. But I bet reality when you start is a bit different. Can you tell us about that?
Sure, thanks, Lenny. So very good evening, everyone. My name is Benjamin, and I'm the co-founder and COO of Fundnel. So we are a private investing platform in Singapore, headquartered in Singapore, and we have offices in Jakarta, we have offices in Malaysia, and also in India. So when we first started this journey, it's very interesting for me because I wasn't sort of an entrepreneur out of school. Back in the day, I think in 2010, 2012, that period, then everyone wanted to come out and be a banker, so that's what I did. But having said that, I think that was close to a tipping point where there was a big push for innovation and entrepreneurship coming from government and also coming from the corporates themselves. That was when I left corporate, and in fact, I left a fund to start Fundnel because I saw a distinct gap in the market for startups, for SMEs looking for capital, and that's how we came about. And to answer the question directly, what are some of the advantages of being in Singapore? I'll be very unbiased here. I'll try to be unbiased. I'll share what I think are the advantages and also what are certain limitations faced. But first and foremost, I'm not going to say it's the traffic, right? Because if I'm going to say the traffic, someone's going to say, but the cost of your transportation there is much higher. So actually, for me, first and foremost, I think the government support obviously is the foundation. And why that's important because the policies and a lot of what I would say cascading effects into areas like human resource, into areas like capital, into areas even like shared regulations. All this come with some sort of government support. I don't think it's just financial, I think it's also policies. But if you talk about the financial support the government has given, and I think our speakers here gave a lot of perspective. I think first and foremost, for example, like myself, FinTech. Right, so we had the Singapore FinTech Festival, and Indonesia also had a FinTech Festival. What this did for us essentially brought the whole world, or almost representatives from all over the world into Singapore, and this gave us a great sort of a landing ground to meet all these people and also share about ourselves. Beyond that, in terms of also support, if you look at policy perspective, so FinTech, we're in a regulated area. What happened with the sandbox, what happened with consultation papers, and that moved very quickly in 2015, 2016, allowed us to get a full capital markets license. And that helped us become a legitimate business when previously, if you would, we were in a pretty much gray area back then in Singapore. Well, I think what else also was very helpful for us as an advantage. Finally, to just end off with, it's also a great place for us to hire talent across the board for areas that we needed sort of deeper kind of sector-specific knowledge and domain expertise. So those are sort of some of those advantages. Yeah.
But at the same time, you were also already thinking about regional expansion from the start, right? Which is kind of from the get-go something a Singaporean founder has to think of from the start.
Right, and that's really, everyone knows our market is too small. But what I'll say is that for us, it made sense from a fundraising perspective to have companies be put on a platform that could reach as many relevant investors as possible. And we saw the potential for flows in capital within Southeast Asia. But also more importantly, from a cost perspective, I can say that at the beginning, we already had our sort of tech team based out of Indonesia. Why? Because I don't need to have a team of developers in Singapore being paid like a much higher wage to build, say, a front-end platform or back-end database. A lot of that I can do in Indonesia, and that's sort of the direction we went towards from day one from Indonesia.
All right. Now I'm going to turn a little bit to Irzan because from the Indonesian founder's perspective, it looks a lot different, right? People say focus in Indonesia, the market's here, build the product here for Indonesia, super localized, and sort of build a moat around your intense knowledge of the local market. But for you, I mean, I chose you to join this panel because even before you had Kata.ai with Guest Boss, you were one of the few Indonesian startups who are actually not just focusing on Indonesia, but said we want to be regional. So tell us a bit about that thinking and why you chose that path.
Sure. Thanks, Aline. Good evening, everyone. So my name is Irzan. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Kata.ai. So previously we were known as Jazzboss. We launched in 2015. Now we're focusing on AI conversational chatbot platform, especially for Bahasa Indonesia, and with some plans from several industries like FMCG, telco, banking, and so on. So the reason why this really matters to us, and I have to say I agree with all the gentlemen in front of here, but they're saying a little right. So for me, it's startups over speed, right? So when we started our company, we know that in order to kick off the company in Asia, it will take us, let's say, 1 month at the very least, and let's say 50 million rupiah for the capital, right? However, then time is very tight, and we gotta make a decision. And based on our research, since we want to make this entity, like our company, not only being focusing on the core market in Indonesia, but like a global company, and attracting like capitals from around the world, not only from Southeast Asia, but from the US, from Europe, that would require us to set up more regional interfacing. So Singapore is the easy answer here. It took us only 2 hours to set up the entity in Singapore and online. So you could imagine how the speed accommodated our needs here. And moreover today, right now, we are in talk with several initiatives from the Singaporean government, such as NRF and then Kata.ai, because we believe this is the age of collaboration. We have this idealism that we want to strive with local talents, we want to strive to capture the biggest chunk of the market from the region, just in Asia itself. However, since we are in B2B business, where do you see where are most of the international companies? They have this international office or the Southeast Asia headquarters in Singapore, right? So that's the exact point for us to see that there's just very important need for B2B, and for our space, it might take some time to educate the market. And Singapore is way more educated in terms of the B2B market, that they are aware already about innovation, about AI, about chatbot, and this is a good angle for us not to position ourselves as a local company, but also as a regional company. So that's from our perspective.
Irzan, when you said you set up a company within 2 hours, can you link back to what Atim was talking about? What kind of entity is that? Did you have the international headquarter or the regional headquarter, or what kind of company form?
Sure. So how we set up our entity in Singapore is our holding, so to say. So all the investor money, the VC money, they're coming to our holding, the Singapore one. And the Singapore one, it owns the TPM, the PTPM Indonesia, that one. And so we have the private limited entity, so to say. So yes, most group private limited. And we have like a local director there, which is actively supporting us. And of course, all of us, regional boarders are registered there.
Maybe Atim, you can expand a little bit on the step-by-step process.
Sure.
In Indonesian, and what different paths there are, maybe.
Sure. So I think what they did is exactly how most of the corporates come to Singapore. As I'm borrowing terminology from my EDB colleagues, right? So they say you access Singapore through 3 T's. You test the market. You test the market by setting up a holding company, and this is applicable to our startup ecosystem. They set up a holding company that was purely a legal structure, a special purpose vehicle to raise capital. Then you start trading, so test trade. They would then use this entity, which is I think what you are doing now, by trying to get access to the ecosystem. You mentioned you have a local director who's very active in plugging you in with the various government entities. So they are at that stage. The third stage is when you start trusting, right? So test, trade, and trust. Third stage would be when some of the headquarter functions would also be run out of Singapore. But that depends on what kind of market access eventually Singapore would be able to provide to them. And so that's how the entire process typically runs.
I'm not sure who's best to answer this question, but I always have the question because I have the situation of having to care for visas and work permits, which is quite a drag in Indonesia for someone who does not have Indonesian nationality. What's it like in Singapore? I mean, all this moving around and flying around, working and setting up entities. What's the legal basis for work permits and residency in Singapore for Indonesian citizens?
So we are open to talent. I think that's number one. Singapore is open to talent. We have no restrictions in terms of talent flows. What we do have, however, is how the restriction comes in is at the salary level. So to get a long-term employment pass, which I guess is your KITA's equivalent here, the level is $3,300, which is about it's about 30 juta. Yeah, so kira 30 juta. So that's the thing. However, the thing is that, I mean, for companies at the test stage, or what Ati mentioned, which will be, I think, what most Indonesian startups are, correct? Maybe I think for the Irzan stage is maybe trading stage, because you have a local, because you are really going regional, because for Kata.ai they are going regional and they're working on some initiatives with the Singapore government, so that's different. But I think for the majority of Indonesian startups where it is just a holding company, you don't need employment pass, things like that. You can fly easily, 30-day, no visa, visa free entry, no issues whatsoever.
No restrictions on what type of business you're allowed to conduct, or?
No, we register, I think
Okay, so legally, if the founder is traveling, right, they would be one of the foreign directors of the company, right? And if they're traveling on valid business visa, even if the visa is not required, because they are representing the entity in Singapore, they can work. But in terms of work permits, passes, there are, I would say, 3 different categories. One is entrepreneur pass, right, which is something which the entrepreneurs would typically get if they meet a few conditions. One of those conditions is to be incubated by one of the government agencies, right? So, panel members here can help with that. Once you have that, you have a certain minimum amount of capital, you'll get an entrepreneur pass. The other one is employment pass, which is linked to the salary and obviously linked to the skill availability of that particular skill set within Singapore market. The third category is permanent residence. There's one more called permanent employment pass, but similar to employment pass, not covered. Third one is permanent residence. Now that's something that you would be eligible to apply for over a period of time, right? And that's when the economy would want to see how integrated, how closely looped into the economy, as well as culture at the ground the person is.
Can you hear me? This thing about a 30-day visa, that's one of the services I didn't get a chance to mention just now. With the opening of the International Center, if a startup is is interested to come to Singapore to explore whether Singapore is the right place for their entity, they can take up space for 30 days at our International Center in terms of co-working space. Within that 30 days, you can, for a nominal fee that we charge for the month, you'll have full access to the co-working space. You'll have full access to all the programs and services that other members of ACE are entitled to. And in 30 days, during that time, you have your friendly In.Corp representative sitting in the International Center. You feel that Singapore is the place for you and you want to go to the next step, then you can proceed with those formalities. And then, depending on the nature of the structure, you can even apply for the entrepreneur pass, which is the entree pass. I believe the validity of that is 1 year. I'm told that there will be an announcement soon that that's going to be extended. So you're already exploring your startup, tech startup, and you want to check out the launchpad, you're going to be there for a month, you're more than welcome to join us at the International Center.
My next question goes into the fundraising realm. And there my question is, there's you introduced a lot of government schemes like grants, incubator programs, accelerator programs. Are all of those also accessible to founders from abroad, or are those for Singapore nationals? I'm sometimes confused about that.
The basic tier, which is the founder, is very much directed at Singaporeans and is for first-time entrepreneurs. The government ceiling is 30,000. If you raise 10,000 on your own, and the government is willing to fund you another 30,000. But of course, the criteria is that you must be a Singaporean, PR, or a PR, and this is a startup for you. For those who are a bit more established and they are exploring it at a higher level, then you have the startup tech, you have the other startup schemes that may be more suitable for them.
And maybe not Wesley, maybe Benjamin can chime in here as a fundraising platform that actually opens up access to absolutely alternative sources of funding that are not coming from any government side, right?
Yeah, so to add on to that, I think the thing about the Singapore market obviously is that there are a lot of funds based out there, and a lot of these funds are not necessarily just looking for Singaporean companies. In fact, and that's why speakers mentioned that they do travel a lot around regionally. So I think if you're looking to sort of raise capital for your growth plans, whether it's regional or in Indonesia itself, having an incorporation in Singapore gives these funds quite a lot of comfort. You don't need to move like a whole team there. Sometimes you might just say have a few representatives there so that it aids in terms of communication because of proximity. Otherwise, they're pretty happy to invest in companies in the region. But sometimes we do see quite a demand for them to have that whole based out of Singapore just for legal and structuring purposes.
Do you want to add something to that?
Yeah.
The fundraising aspect?
No, so for example, I'm curious, actually it's more for Irzan, I'm curious. So for Irzan, when you fundraise, do you require the account to be built, require someone to be employed out of Singapore, or just a holding company is sufficient?
Just a holding company.
Yeah, so exactly, so really like what Irzan just mentioned, when you fundraise from international investors from Singapore, Europe, US, Indonesia as well. We actually no requirement on the ground in Singapore. It's a legal structure that gives investors the comfort and the protection that they require to invest into this part of the world.
So we are a man or women on the ground in those cases. But there are certain grants that are accessible to the foreigners also, especially if it's a research-related grant and you're getting it by way of a tie-up with, let's say, an NTU or NUS, where one of the professor ties in with you, working with you, researching the product or solution with the ultimate aim or objective of commercializing it. So that's when the grant is made available. It's bilateral, customized. It's generally on the basis of discussion and the requirements.
Irzan, I wanted to ask you, do you already have enterprise clients in Singapore for your platform?
Not yet, but we have a strategic partner, which is named as one of the global partners of one of the leading consulting company, World One, and we are trying to enter the Singapore market. Yeah.
Maybe from Ben then, do you have any tips for how to approach Singaporean, enterprise clients and also the regular customer?
Right. Well, I'll say this, right, for a lot of the Indonesian startups I've seen, no offense, but there are already existing solutions in Singapore. Might not be identical, but similar, right? So I would say that a lot of the solutions or services that you're providing here today in Indonesia, there's probably something very similar that the Singapore clients or end users are already having and accessing. So I think it's extremely important to know then what differentiates you. Is it because the product is better, or is it because you can deliver the same sort of service at a lower cost? Right, having that knowledge takes time to build up, and that's where you have to do, I think, like what the speakers mentioned, also proper market research. I think what will help also is forging some sort of partnerships, whether it's soft partnerships or joint ventures where they help you bring new software into the market. I think one thing that also helps a lot is strategic investors. That it kind of kills two birds with one stone, right? First, it gives you the capital you need to grow. On top of that, that investor is able to open some doors for you in the local market. I think these things would be pretty helpful.
I kind of have the last question that I want to ask maybe everyone to give a statement on. which is just, how do you see Singapore's role in the ASEAN community? I think we're all, Indonesia and Singapore, especially close together as neighbors, yet so different in what we have to offer, right? There's so much research going on in Singapore that Indonesia doesn't really have yet. On the other hand, we have a demographic bonus with so many young people. So it's really like a complementary set of qualities that we have. And how do we make the best of those two worlds?
Well, there's one word that's used in Singapore all the time, which I think is overused, and that's the word hub. You think that Singapore is the hub of something or the other. But you already go back, you talk about history. We credit Singapore's founding to Sir Stamford Raffles, but he was the governor of Batavia, which is Jakarta. So our history goes way, way back. And you go even before that, you have a lot of common cultural genealogy and roots as well. But Singapore's always thrived on being a service center to the region and to the world. So whether it's maritime, whether it's aviation, now it's digital, Singapore will always be a service provider. And I think as the global economy changes to the digital space, with all this disruption going on, I think we have a lot to contribute and contribute to and work with Indonesia on, because you have so many islands. I think for many people, they think now Batam is maybe an extension of Malaysia and Singapore. So I think it's an open mindset that is required, and that's what we hope to offer. With the International Center, we really are rolling out the welcome mat for you to see what we can help you with for the startup community in Singapore. Thanks.
Irzan, how do you see those things? For example, when you saw the slide earlier where Grab, for example, is a Singaporean company, right? Even though we feel it as a Malaysian company. And this project, for example, had its global headquarters in Singapore. I think people would be just, hurt in their pride in some ways, even though it makes sense for the company, right? How do you feel about this?
So here's my take. Yeah, so we are an Indonesian company. We serve our core market, which is representing 40% of the region. However, we are aiming to be a global player. In order to be a global player, we need a vehicle, a partner, a strategic partner, and which is none other than working together with Singaporean government entities or by opening our entity there. So it's more like about strategy. You want to win the region, yes, you need to capture Indonesia. But if you want to be a global player, or at least a regional player, then Singapore is the way to go. So that's my 2 cents about it. Yes.
Okay, I think sometimes you don't need to reinvent the wheel. There's a lot that you can glean from technology, from terms of new product services. You can get all this in Singapore, you can see it, and from there I think you can leverage these existing infrastructures, technologies, take it back to Indonesia and scale it as well. So I think that's a great place to that.
Maybe if I can ask one more thing from you, because you said you already also have teams in Indonesia, right? So what's the vice versa approach, Like how open or closed or accessible is Indonesia from the perspective of a Singaporean founder?
Wow, that's a tricky question. My first time in Indonesia was 10 years ago, and from there I've had a lot of friends, Indonesians, that helped me here. I've learned lessons hard way. Yes, it is very difficult to break into Indonesia without having people that you know here that can help you navigate some of the tax issues. Like for Singapore, withholding tax, I don't have to withhold it, the other person withhold it, but I didn't know it. I need to pay more as a result. But yes, it's a learning process. It's not easy, and that's where we have a lot to learn from also the locals here. Yeah.
So I always see, I've been based here for the last 3 years, and I always see Singapore and Indonesia as really complementary. This is it's no longer a game of nationalism, it's really a game of how we can work together to win globally. Singapore needs Indonesia a lot, and vice versa. And so one very practical example is how you guys have a market and you know Indonesia the best. And a lot of our innovation in Singapore is stuck. A lot of our innovation that's happening in our research institutes can't find their way out to commercial. They can't commercialize because they do not know what is the problem statements out there in the market. But you guys know it, And actually, one very practical way is, for example, like, you guys know what's the problem statements that Indonesians are facing here. There's some technology being developed in Singapore. Why not come and take it, come and partner with the research institutes or maybe some Singapore startups? Get to know them, say, hey, this is very interesting. We can just tweak it a little bit and it can cater to the kecamatan here or basically outside of maybe not in Jakarta, maybe in Sulawesi or in Kalimantan. Yeah, we can apply that, or maybe in agriculture where we have zero agriculture in Singapore. So Indonesia is half of us. In Singapore, we spend a lot of money developing a lot of tech. We are very happy with you guys.
Okay, I'll probably go out on my limb and say, look, small island, no minerals. We import our bananas and apples as well. 5.5 million people only. So there are strengths that both the countries have. In fact, across the region, right, there are strengths that different countries have. The strength here is a huge market, and Singapore's strength is market access. Right? Whether it's through ecosystem, through technology, so the market and talent availability and the kind of tech startup culture that we have here, Singapore can offer an ecosystem or ability to be able to provide access to the other places. But the economy here would still be larger.
Okay, I think that's a nice closing round. I think everybody in the audience can just approach these gentlemen and ask more specific questions. Or shall we open up the Q&A session to the floor now? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that for a couple of moments. Just pass the microphone. Anyone in here for a question?
My name is Louis from Prasap. We are a startup company. My question is for Irzan. It's simple, and I think all of us will ask it about you. How do you manage with our tax ministry? We know our tax ministry nowadays will hunt you. Will hunt you. How do you manage it? Only this. Thank you.
Well, as a company, we are trying to be comply with all the regulatory. So even we pay the taxes, we follow the rules because we hire all the people our people under our paycheck, so to say. So we do the obligation, same what we do with Singapore, like for the contracts that are going with the Singapore entity, then as our ministry to pay the taxes. Same what we do with the Indonesian entity. We have some partnerships with local companies, and that's where tax is obligated to us. So I don't think that's an issue because we are pretty much following the regulation of the government, including like paying the taxes. Okay.
Are you also pay Indonesian taxes and Singapore taxes, or just Singapore taxes?
We pay, how to say it? Actually, it's not my scope of work, but that's a good question. Yeah. We do both actually. So in Indonesian one, we pay the taxes one, and in Singapore, we also pay the tax.
So maybe this is a perfectly tax compliant structure. Indonesia tax incidents would happen if they were to sell their stake in the holding company in Singapore. Right? Then the shareholders would be Indonesian tax residents, and therefore they will have to pay the tax here also. And they cannot get away from that here. But in Singapore there is no capital gains tax. But if in Indonesia sellers of stock have to pay capital gains tax, they will pay. And this is a very open structure. They set it up as a holding company, so they are not hiding or doing anything wrong. If they were to set up an offshore company to hide their wealth, that would have been different. Right? Only if they were to sell in future, tax incidents would occur, and Irzan says they would be compliant even then. But that you need good tax advisors both sides to be able to advise you through that.
Yes.
Rani from Austria. So actually, to be honest, at the beginning when I came here, I'm very enthusiastic and expect something like, oh, I have this Singaporean, maybe you will offer some brand or something like innovation. That's talk. But after all these topics, and I feel that, as you said, I mean, it's no offense here, but to build Singapore, to set up the entities is very fast. 1 or 2 days where we have 3 months, 4 months, maybe. Oh, okay. But to be honest, that what we realize is that because to make the company is very easy, so then when we get funding from VC that need us to set up the company in Singapore, then we will just do it after we get the funding. And then I heard about the 17%, where we are on 10%, and also the rest of it, the talent problem, yes, but I think for early stage like us, it's not, I'm not sure it's really valid because we have a lot of affordable talent here. And as you mentioned, I have a lot of friends in Singapore that build all the back end in Indonesia because it's very affordable here. Except Gojek will build in India now. So,
And in Singapore, right? Gojek has a research center, pretty fresh data science center.
Yeah. So my question is, anything else that we can instruct us to go there in Singapore? Do you have something else that can be offered?
Yeah, so you are totally correct that actually like things like talent and things like that for early stage startups not so relevant yet. I fully agree. I mean the likes of Gojek, it's only when they reach the Gojek size then they find that, oh okay, maybe I need a technology team in Singapore. So for most early stage startups it's not. So I think for Singapore really one early stage structure, legal structure, I think it makes a lot of sense. The tax and legal experts here can tell you and many other tax startups have done so. Structure here of Singapore. Two, which is still it's not so popular model in Indonesia yet, and we need to be seeing whether Indonesian startups are interested or not. It's going through maybe accelerator or incubation. I did not cover it now in my slides, but there are a number, I'm not sure if ACE does it, but we have a number of we have more than 20 incubators, accelerators in Singapore that actually reach out to the region. Because we cannot just run incubator and accelerator programs from Singapore startups. They're more than happy for Indonesian startups, Thai startups, Vietnamese, Philippines startups to go to Singapore to go through their programs as well. So if that's something that you're interested in, we can look at it. A very good example is the entity that I mentioned in my slides called SG Innovate. They used to be called the Infocom Investment Private Limited. They have more than 10. Do you come from? No. So they have more than 10 accelerator programs with corporate partners, people like UOB Bank, with IBM, with Ascender, Singbridge, so they have NTC Income. So these are thematic industry accelerator programs in the fintech space, in insurance, in healthcare, in IoT. So that's some of the things that they do, and they attract startups from not just from Southeast Asia, but even from China, from India as well.
Can I just make a very quick point? So I don't think it's necessarily about grants, but if you are open to looking at problem statements, so for example, fintech, right? When there's a fintech festival, there was this whole a lot of problem statements that are going to pull out, and that's not just for Singapore companies, that's for any company in the world that has a solution for the problems that Singapore facing. So if you're willing to look at certain sector-specific areas, so I mentioned fintech, like Smart Nation, if you look at Smart Nation as well, there's going to be a lot of investment coming from development that will go into that. So if you have a solution that can fit the market there in Singapore, I'd say that that's also an area that you should explore as well.
Brilliant question, right? Any nation can have advantages, but if it doesn't make sense for your organization, then it's moot. A couple of other things that the country offers is typically used as a test bed, right? Not only in technology segment, but also in the consumer space. So if you have a product or a solution that directly addresses the consumers of entire Southeast Asia, even when we are a startup, the aspiration is for our product or solution to be able to service the entire region. Testing of that particular product or solution is generally done there because it's a microcosm, right? All nationalities live there, and therefore testing happens. The second bit, which both Wesley and Ben covered, is again access. If you will be spending time with the other innovators who will either become vendors to your solution or will become users to your solution, if there is an ecosystem, you may want to plug into it. Funding is just one aspect of it, right? A good investor would invest directly in a good company or a good idea.
Hello, my name is Agus. Let's say I'm selling a SaaS system for the Indonesian market, but somehow there's a Singapore company in Singapore attached to use our system. My question is, first, is this legal? If I use the visa tourist pass to go to the company to train the employee to use the system. Is it legal if I only use the visa tourist pass? The second, I don't have the entity in Singapore. My entity is in Indonesia. The second one is for the payment. This is regular if the company just pay the money to me and I don't pay the tax, Singapore tax. Yes, I pay pajak penghasilan for Indonesia, but how about in Singapore? Because after that service, obviously I will put the Singapore company name in my testimonial. I wonder if there's a issue for that. Thank you.
So you can bill from your entity in Indonesia to Singapore customer. You don't have to pay any taxes in Singapore, right? Because the revenue is being booked by Indonesian entity and the money is coming here directly. You will show that revenue here and pay the profit tax here. So no problem. But if you're going there on trading and if you're going there on work, legally you should go on a business visa. Because what you are doing is offering consultancy, which is a service. You shouldn't be doing it on a tourist visa. But again, business visa you can get very easily because the person or entity who you are going to meet will be able to issue that letter, and within a couple of days you will get your business visa. So taxation wise, no problem. You can show the testimonial. One entity here servicing the other entity there. You don't need Singapore entity at all.
Further questions? What about from this side of the room?
Okay, can I ask a question? Okay. Based from your opinion, okay, what are the common mistakes that most foreigner entrepreneurs did when they set up their office in Singapore? And what's the other challenge that we must know when we want to build our office in that country? Thank you.
These are hands-on guys.
So I'm gonna say, spend too much money, man. I can tell you rent real fast, right? Furniture, HR, and all that. So that was my point just now that I shared, right? I think it's extremely important that you test the market first. You build up some B2B or B2C channels. You build up some sort of a plan for yourself from a revenue perspective, but also how you manage that cost. So I think that would be one of the advice I'd give you. Like before you decide to go and really have physical presence, make sure that you have some sort of revenue potential that you can tap in near term. So that helps you to cover your burn rate there. Because staffing there, I can just give you some figures, right? A team of 10, you could easily, a team of 10 people, you could easily rack up like 30,000 a month in terms of your burn rate. Easily. Yeah. And that's actually on the low end with founders not taking salary. So that gives you some perspective.
I think one of the most key resources you would have, or strategic resource you should strive to get is good information, quality of information, and how do you get it. If you have contacts like this who tells you on the ground this is what you should do and what you should not do. But in terms of like when things are developing, things are evolving very, very quickly, are you in touch with the right people? And how do you get in touch with those people who are the lead players in the industry and the key decision makers, you need to have good networks. So why is it that we spend time on saying, being associated with the right circle, being a member of an alumni club, is because not just, maybe there's some prestige to it, it's really access to information. So what I would suggest is wherever you go, if you're coming to Singapore, try to find the right contacts. In the traditional way of doing business would be, okay, find out who are the chambers of commerce in Singapore, or if industry associations. In the startup community, who are the startup players? And the good thing about Singapore is that the geography is very small, you can access it very easily. But then again, the key people are always very, very busy. So if you, for example, come through the ACE network, just within the launchpad, you spend 1 week there, 1 month there, pretty much whoever is important in the startup space or whoever you need to get in touch with, you could probably find it from there. And someone like ACE, like I said, we are non-profit, we have no agenda except to promote the ecosystem. Where we can help you directly, we will. If you need a helping hand to get in touch with a government agency, we'll put you in contact. Private sector players, between our permanent staff and our board of directors and our advisors, we will help you in whatever way we can. So information is what you need. For that, you need the right networks.
Just add on to Ramesh. So you recall I was talking about building bridges between Indonesia and Singapore. That's why we're doing it. I mentioned 2 bridges that we built announced this year. One is just down the road, Arubimo, North 21 in Jakarta, going to be open soon. NUS Enterprise is there. I think he's partnering with them, right?
NUS Enterprise?
Yeah.
Then at Launchpad, we are everybody's friend. We have Block 71, we have Block 79, visit each other.
Okay. So they're all friends, basically. So basically, I mean, I hope that Ramesh will set up a team here in Jakarta. I'm not sure. but NUS Enterprise, they will have a team on the ground, and so you can go there. There's a co-working space there. There's a Singapore startup there you can connect to. EV Hive, East Ventures Hive, they have a partnership with SU as well. Yeah, they can get connected as well, no issues. And that's why we're building those bridges.
As I said, we have MOUs with different cities. We have a chapter in Silicon Valley. I hope very soon we'll have a chapter in Indonesia. So even you can't come to the launchpad in Singapore, you contact someone here or invite me back often enough, I mean, you have a connection there already.
You have a 30-day free trial for them, right? 30 days.
Yeah, we do. The reason is actually 30 days is because our immigration office, department gives a 30-day visa. And so long as you're there for 30 days, and this one is you don't need the business visa, right? What Raditya has said for other formalities. While you're there, come and spend time there and see what is going to work in the launchpad or at the international center. If what you're hoping to get, is it available? Is it meeting your needs? And then you decide. For example, the Japanese folks say, why only 30 days? I said, well, Japanese passport, you get 60 days or 90 days, then stay for 60 or 90 days. We'll be happy to have you at our center. So, at our end, we'll extend whatever service and hospitality we can. Like I said, the 30-day limit, if you want to call it a limit, is because of the immigration criteria. That's it.
All right, is there more burning questions? Yes.
I guess my question represents a lot of first-time founders here. One of the difficulties for Indonesian founders is forced capital, and Singapore is a very solid nation when international capital can come to Southeast Asia and investors have confidence in investing in it. I just want to know on the details on how I mean, Ramesh said that most companies, most Indonesian companies set up holding companies in Singapore to hold the capital. The question is, how do you move the capital here? I mean, how do you coordinate with VPN? And then I guess that's it's a question that's been in my head for a couple of years. Because eventually the capital will come to Singapore. I mean, very few that international investors want to put the money in here directly as a foreign direct investment. Right? So I mean, I just want to know how the the nitty-gritty stuff. Thank you very much. Sure. Thank you.
So a lot of Indian Indonesian corporates set up holding companies, but majority of them actually set up trading companies in Singapore. So that's what. Second, once you have raised capital, the first thing that you would do as a founder is you would try to access or start meeting potential investors, whether you do it through here or do it through Fundnel or do it through other service providers, investment bankers. Once they have committed that they will invest the capital, you will set up a holding company. The money will come into the holding company. It's actually not that easy, right? In case of Irzan, they could do it that you set up the holding company and then made Indonesian company the subsidiary. That in informal language is called flipping the structure. It's not very easy to do. It is easy to do. It's easy to do only when you are a startup and you are not necessarily generating a lot of profit. Okay? So let's assume that it's a startup not generating a lot of profits, don't have a lot of employees. Company in Singapore is formed. It's the holding company. It gets capital. Now, for that capital to go down into Indonesia, I think there are two ways to do this. One, the money will go in the form of capital, right? So, parent company in Singapore will invest in the company in Indonesia. So, it will be share capital going in, right? And if it has to be taken out, it can be only taken out in the form of a dividend at a later stage. Fairly straightforward process. You only need a board resolution from the Singapore entity, and then you effect the transfer using the bank channel. Right, so I can only talk from Singapore's perspective. I don't think it's prohibited in Indonesia if you were to get money getting invested from the parent company. The other way of bringing money into Indonesia is by way of a loan, intercompany loan. Okay? So you can always remit the funds from Singapore parent into Indonesia as interco loan. And after you have used the funds and there is some left, you've generated enough cash, you can return the funds to the lender, which is the parent company. So again, very straightforward process. You need an underlying loan agreement, a board resolution, which the company secretaries generally help you with, and the money can flow both ways. I think this is what you're using as well, right?
I think as additions comment to that. So previously, before we set up the Indonesian entity owned by the Singapore entity, we have a IP license agreement between our PT and our private limited in Singapore. So how to make it comply with the regulation, and so how we did it is we, as if that the Singapore entity is paying the license of the IP of the Indonesian entity. So they can pay like a service, or you can set the Indonesian company as a consultant of the Singapore company. So that's one way to do so. Before the easiest one, before you set up, like you have PT, you have private limited, and you need to set up both the linkage, the two of them, and kind of complicated and take time and more money. So that's how we did it at the beginning.
Again, slightly complicated. Any trade relationship would need transfer pricing also. But that's another thing. Can't discuss over food, but yeah.
I think we need to wrap it up for the public Q&A, but you're welcome, I think, to approach these guys for a one-on-one chat as we sort of mingle and head out. I think there's also some snacks outdoors.
Yes, thank you very much to the panel today, and dinner is served, so please feel free to have some food and chat with the panel. I'm sure you have a lot more questions. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I hope you found it valuable. Thanks so much.
Thank you.